So it's 3:40 on Sunday morning. And last night was weird. I mean, there's so many weird nights, but the the sleeping, and I'll every morning when I go out, there's no fucking moon. There's no moon. Well, it's the middle of the night. It's not morning. And I've gone out a couple times, and there's no moon. There's no moonlight. There's a shit ton of stars. Stars. I think they're ships or beings. You know, just depends on what form that they can hold and how they travel and stuff. But it's like souls, I think. And and my algorithm on TikTok has totally changed. It is wacky. I can't believe it. It's just like, or there's just like a huge amount of people now who have woke up and switched to the other side. But it's totally changed of like what the people are talking about and everything. But let me see, because there was some stuff. One of the things is the Vladimir and where he's about to go with shit is like, I was thinking, because I tell people this all the time, you know, what you're eating. And people think, you know, I'm just whacked. And then I was thinking, well, I wonder if they're going to listen when he says it. Or if they're just going to think, oh, I don't believe him. But it seems that maybe the footage that he's releasing on the other situation and speaking the truth on that, but there's still going to be deniers. There's going to continue to be deniers on everything. It's like that their psyche won't go past the information. They block themselves like, no. So, so we'll see where it leads, but so he's going to say the truth about, you know, something we know is an inside job. There's going to be more and more. It's just going to keep coming in. Inside job. These people who you're paying your taxes to are trying to kill you. Because the people who own the labs pay a lot more than you pay. They're willing to scratch each other's backs in that situation. And we've got a bunch of back scratching, dirty laundry going on. So, and that's going to keep being exposed. And then Donald, he's putting through a bunch of legislature shit that is, seems like it's just setting us all up for what's to come, the changeover and the financial, a lot of stuff is going to be changing. And so it seems like he's getting stuff set up for that. And, but the Vladimir talking about what we're eating now, that is going to be some interesting information, because he's going to tell more of like, he's not going to just, I don't know, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger than what, than just here. You know, I mean, we're having somebody in Russia tell us what we're eating, because the place here is trying to hide it, because they got to dispose of these bodies somehow. I mean, all they need is the organs. So, gotta get rid of the leftovers. What better way? Put it in their food. Put it in their fucking, everything that's leather is so creepy, too. Because, my daughter, when she went vegan, which was in high school, one of my daughters, when she went vegan in high school, it was like, oh, no, she couldn't buy leather. She couldn't, and I got a feeling, well, that's fake, though. You want to have leather, it's going to last. And it's like they're going to be wasting that stuff out of the cow anyways. They're taking what's inside. You may as well, you know, let them use the outside for something. Like, that's the way it is in our harmonious way of living. The harmony back, where you go back to the tribe. When were we living harmoniously on the planet? I go back to the tribes. And they used everything. And they also didn't just kill. It wasn't like every day, let's run out and kill a bunch of buffalo. But when one would be killed and taken back, they use it, every bit of it. They don't waste it and stuff. And yeah, I even see them like taking bones and making tools and stuff. Like things were used. So I don't know, but I just saw like something with the bones being used. Even like they didn't waste stuff, and we're wasteful. We're so wasteful, and it's kind of really eerie, you know, how these people aren't. Like, we're gonna get rid of the evidence. You guys are gonna eat it. Like, that's so creepy. So creepy, and plus it's so weird how it's an illusion. There's just so much weird shit about this place. I'm tripping. But yeah, that's gonna, when the people actually listen. So it's gonna be the thing that's gonna be curious to me is when he speaks, who's gonna listen? Who's gonna be paying attention? There's gonna be some people who will, but your ass. There's gonna be a lot of people who will, and that's gonna ripple out. Like they're gonna just nonstop talk about it, post about it, and you'll see it ripple out, and you'll see the argument. People are like, well, bullshit, that's a lie. They wouldn't do that. You'll see all that as it ripples through. You'll see the resistance and stuff in it, however it's got to go through. It seems like things are picking up, man. Oh, in the 27th, which I think is Tuesday. What's today? Or would it be Monday? I don't know, the 27th, because I think today's the 26th. But the 27th, that date, seemed like there was more things on that date. It seems like Donald had something on it, but it's the Ouija board entity that has been speaking to those people since 2013 or 2014. They said the 27th was when shit goes down. So, I don't know. I mean, at least that's like before my flight. Like, I don't want to be, I mean, I don't even want to be going to the airport and shit be going down. You know, I'm sitting at the airport 6 hours, like, you don't know what the fuck's going on. And then you're waiting, and they got runways opening up in earthquakes or something, and they'd be like, give it a try. Take them. What's gonna hurt? I mean, you know, we can use their bodies later. But the harvest situation is so much bigger than what people know, and that's what it's gonna, I would imagine when they listen, it's gonna start to impact their mind of that. I just saw this other girl, a channeler girl, or a girl who does QHHTs or something with somebody. I just saw two. I saw one off Gaia channel, and that girl was talking about the Jesus bloodline, and that he had kids with Mary Magdalene, and that there's a bloodline on this planet right now that holds that DNA, and that when our stuff is going to start, more things are going to keep coming up. The truth, like there's going to be a shift. There's certain things that are going away and certain things that are coming up. So like our history, the truth and stuff is going to surface as the world that we're leaving behind goes underwater, under mud, under trees, under dirt. So it's like the shifting. And so in the when the stuff rises and they have these certain things, then some of this bloodline people, some of these older bloodlines, that they're going to activate this stuff. This is what this lady was saying. And the Gaia channel lady who was did the thing on her, she was being interviewed and about what this lady was saying. And so the guy was asking her, you know, well, where did she get this information, blah, blah, blah. And she said she didn't know anything about this. She came in because she was having a lot of health problems, and so she wanted to be hypnotized to try and figure out what her health issues were. And then she just started saying all this stuff, and she had no idea. She was under hypnosis saying all this stuff. So she said that this is gonna go down. The Templars have been, they know who the families are, or they know who the people are, and they're under protection. But then there's the other thing, which I know that there's people that they've been looking for. I know that's what the 23andMe thing was about. And just the blood test and stuff. And I think that some of the things, they can't find what they're looking for. Like it could have been right in front of them without them knowing it. It seems to me that it's kind of like they don't know what they're looking for. But they think that they can find it, that something's going to stand out, but they don't really know what it is. And so they're like looking and on these different levels, because like I see it like in these different levels, like kind of like the hounds from hell in one realm looking, you know, it's like these other, it's weird. But there seems to be that there's this, and I've said this for a few years, and I think, you know, that they've been looking for certain people for a while, always looking for certain either bloodlines or something, and then or gifts. It can be certain gifts. It can be like they're trying to find certain higher vibration beings or something. So like light workers or star seeds or something. And so they're looking for these certain DNA strands, but they're not looking for the right thing. And that's the protection. That's like the protection for the beings that they're looking for. Because the beings that they're looking for are to remain hidden until the time is right, where then they can be, it's like the stone that goes in to create the new wave. And so and it's supposed to be impactful. And so it's a group of people. It will turn us in a new direction. And it's like, okay, because it's like in the Bible stories where like the king, I hear King Solomon, I don't know, like King Solomon was told this boy was going to grow up and kill him. So he says, kill every boy, baby in this kingdom. I think this is the story where they went and they put one on a basket and put him down the river. And he went down the river and was taken somewhere else or something. But I don't know, maybe that's out of a movie. But but it's like that story where it was like they thought if they could catch them and kill them, they could stop what was going to happen. They could stop their ending by that, but that isn't, they can't stop their ending. That's impossible because it's universally orchestrated, and the ones coming in are the life preservers for humanity to pull them in, and it's like pulling them out of the drowning ship to get them to swim. They'll like be standing on the shore, swim, swim. And so that's the it's the movement. It's like that's the way it's gonna go. There's no, like, they couldn't stop it. They could have never stopped it. And it was always going to be this way. You know, the people would remain hidden until the time is right, and then it would take the move to move us in a new direction. And and these people have been looking for them. I kind of see it too as like, it seems like there was like a superhero movie. Maybe it's Superman or something, where they know this person's out there, but they don't know how to find them. But they know they need to end them to make it go the direction they want to go. And so that is a part of their frustration and stuff. But, you know, I mean, things are going to go in our favor. I mean, that's just written in the stars. It's just the way it is. And so confirmation. So double. And so which the other day, I think it was yesterday, Crystal said a feather flew past me. when I was talking, and so I went and looked at that thing, and it does. This feather goes past. I always say that's a confirmation, because where the hell did it come from all of a sudden? Any of those kind of things to me, all of a sudden this thing just comes by, especially when it enters the orbit. It's like it's a messenger, kind of. It's like, to me, it's like a confirmation of whatever it is I'm saying. So, anyways, the so that these bloodlines, whatever that they're looking for. So when this girl in this QHHT thing, she's saying that the Jesus bloodline is protected by the Templars, which, you know, I don't know. And then within the other day, where I heard this other girl saying they're looking for the Jesus bloodline because they know it's got these special powers. It's got, it's going to be able to activate certain things. And so I know, I don't know what bloodline. I just know that they're looking. And it's almost like they look in your dreams too. And I just saw this girl, because my algorithm is so different now. So this girl, she said that she was talking about her dreams, and she was talking about even when she just shuts her eyes, how those beings keep coming and stuff. And she's like, is this happening to the people? Well, of course I said, yeah, it's happening to me. And she was like really weirded out and freaked out. And she said she can't stop them. They just keep coming. And, but that realm is real, and see how it can be overwhelming at times. That's why everything is us learning how to manage our existence, basically. They and it's each of us has to figure it out for ourselves, you know. It's like everybody's got a different floor, and everybody's got to figure out what broom to use to clean their floor. So it's like you've got to put in some work to figure out what your thing is. And so she I can't remember all the stuff she was saying. There was something about it. She was felt like she was being attacked and stuff like that. But anyways, that's real. They're really out in these realms, and that is also to me, I would say, when they are like that, doing that, you gotta, if you become too aware, where they know you have an awareness of them, the attacks get worse. So it's yeah, it's like a control and contain, because I'm telling you, they're monitoring these other realms. They aren't just in this realm monitoring us. They're monitoring the other ones around us, where we go. And there seems to be certain places that we go. Certain, must be like certain realms of vibration that are around us that we just can access when we're asleep, that we can go to. And then there's a lot of them that have to do with learning and stuff. And so, but some, you know, like these people all say, yeah, we always go to this mall when I'm asleep or whatever. And that one day I was at that mall, and I was thinking, I've probably been to a mall more than one time. But still, I think that there's certain places like that we go to. And it's just the way I see it. And then I see them being in these places, you know, like security at the mall. They're watching us and shit. And then there's these other beings that like live in that realm, and they are more, because these ones that come at me with their eyeball thing, they're always coming at me. It's like, I don't know, it's like that's their realm or something, and they're like fucking with you. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, I would limit that interaction with any of them. I always just open my eyes and look away from them. But anyways, she was even talking about when she put the thing over her eyes, how she could still see. And I had said that. I said, it's so weird, is when I put that thing over my eyes thinking, oh, now I can go to sleep. No, it's like I can fucking still see everything. It's weird. It's like, I don't know, your third eye vision is your vision acuity of seeing what is there. I don't know, it's like you know what's there, so you still see it, kind of, which to me is kind of like the challenge behind blindness. But there's a lot of things then, you know, a blind person's not going to stay in the same place forever. But also, I think you can explain to them, and if they go in, but they have to have like a be able to access their I hear a whole bunch of words, illusion, format, like is their visual insight. So say you go blind and you know your way around your house, and you can't see, but in your mind's eye you can still see. You still know, because you know how many steps it is there. You know what room you're in. You know where you're at and stuff. So then say that person moves, and then they go into this new house and they sit there and somebody explains to them, and they go into their mind's eye and visualize what it is they're being explained. They visualize their steps. They visualize there's a table here. They visualize there's a wall there. You walk over it, like they put that into their mind. Then when they start to walk around, they can still see it in their mind's eye, even if they're not seeing it with their physical eyes, which to me is kind of part of the challenge of going blind. It's like another level in the game. It's another level of consciousness, which I was always thought it was so interesting how when I was a kid, because I started hearing this, I had a friend who was deaf, and so I started learning, you know, like, oh, disability. And then plus back then we had, they called I think it was just, maybe they just called it the retarded class or something. They used to say retarded all the time, and all retarded meant was slow. So that they just were, and it was the doctors who had come up with this retarded thing. But when I learned what the word was, it was just slow. So I was just like, you know, retarded means slow. And I don't know, to me, it's like a part of their societal movement of control and shit. Why they start saying, oh, people are so mean, calling people who are Down syndrome retards and stuff like that. Like, what the hell kind of people are going around saying rude shit like that to people? There is people who do that, but do we conform our whole society to the bullies, or do we fucking stand up, say no? You know, I don't know. Feels like we're always going backwards. So so anyways, I already knew like that there was all these kids, and back then it wasn't like you go to the slow class now and everybody just looks regular. Back then it was like everybody looked like they had syndromes and stuff. Nowadays I think they put those kids in homes and shit. People don't even, I mean, some people keep them, you know, but a lot of people are just like, I got a broken one, let's get a new one. But there is a movement in our society where people are way more present in that situation. You know, there's people out there with a lot of disabled kids now who are trying to inform and educate people on this stuff. Oh, which this is so interesting. So you remember that girl I was talking about? I don't know, I think it was a couple weeks ago. And she had this big stomach that looked like she was pregnant. In the video I had seen of her, she's called Megan the Trainer, I think. And she is a workout person. Like when you go to the gym, she's a trainer. And so when you go, you know, you pay to have her come out and train you. So she's super, super fit, except she's got this giant ass stomach. And she's so skinny with this giant ass stomach, it looks like somebody who's really fit, who's pregnant. And so people ask her all the time if she's pregnant. And she said that she won't go out, she won't do all this stuff. And so she wanted to, and she's coming to terms with it. I don't know, it was this whole video, and she's crying, and she wanted to educate people on this disorder she has, and I don't remember what it's called, some kind of abdomen something, and it's a separation, so it grows apart or something. I don't know. But she's crying, and so she was like, just wanted people to understand, and she's like standing in her insecurities so she can get over them, kind of, because she doesn't go places and stuff because it's so uncomfortable, and people ask her about her when she's due and stuff. And so anyways, this long video. So anyways, now it's been a couple weeks. It's only been a couple weeks too. This is so crazy. So she did that video, which, you know, I saw that one, but now I'm seeing these other ones now. So it's been this couple weeks. So I didn't go in and follow it, but a lot of people got into this thing, and they were all in there commenting and started talking and stuff. So apparently what happened, so she self-diagnosed herself off Google. So she decided that this is what she had when she was going and looking up her symptoms and whatever was going on with her stomach. And so all the people in the comments, though, said, oh, girl, you got a ovarian cyst. So she had all these comments. So I saw people who were talking about the comments, and she said there was like a lot of harsh comments, but she didn't get offended. She didn't get upset. She was taking it all serious. So she was listening to people, and they all convinced her, like, her symptoms and everything she had going on. She had an ovarian cyst, and she needed to go to the hospital. So she does. She goes to the ER. Apparently finds out she has a cyst on her ovary that is the size of a watermelon. Motherfucking size of a watermelon. She got the measurements of it, so she went to the store, found a watermelon that was the same measurements, took it home, held it up next to her stomach to show, like, this massive, this is how fucking big this tumor is. And so she was scheduled for surgery, and she went in, got the surgery. They removed the tumor. She's already out of the hospital. She's already home and recovered. I mean, this was just like, she went on, she started saying, she had all this stuff. It was so hard. Everybody's like, no, you got this. She goes down for emergency. She's already in surgery. She's already home. And now the tumor is gone, and she is so small and so skinny. And that, oh, I couldn't believe how big it was, and how big her, oh my God. And she was so skinny and so in shape, and people were like, no way you've got that other thing. You've got this. And it ends up, yep. So she went out there exposing herself, and now she's all fixed up, brand new. It's the craziest thing. So anyways, I don't, she said that that thing had been growing for like 6 months or something. It was probably growing before that, but oh my God. When I had my hysterectomy, and I had problems, like I said, since I was a kid. I'd always had problems. I always had cysts and stuff. And I always had problems with my period. Like I said, I thought I was sterile. I had no idea I could have kids. I had so many problems. And so then, then when you start understanding on the spiritual thing of, it was, you know, the lower chakra, the place where I was having issues. There's predators around me. So it's kind of like, you make yourself sick almost in that region until you deal with the shit. So if I would have been, you know, I was a little kid, but if I would have had better boundaries or something, you know, if I would have been able to stand up to people, but that wasn't the situation. So your body starts reflecting, and you get sicker and sicker. So anyways, I had tons of female issues, and went on and on and on, and to the point where they're doing this hysterectomy, right? And in my, I already have been told, you know, my, for years and years, my ovaries were always covered with cysts, and they were all bent or something. I don't even remember when, because it seems that I knew that before this doctor did this. So anyways, his plan was he was going to leave the tubes now. So he was going to leave my fallopian tubes and my ovaries, so I would continue to have hormones or some bullshit. And so he said that when he went in and he took out my uterus, that he straightened my fallopian tube. So he straightened him out and reset everything. So he put him in a better place, and he figured that that was going to work good. And then when I woke up and he said, "Oh, I left in your tube, in your ovaries," I just couldn't even believe it. I just was mind blown. I was like, let's leave the part that's broken in there. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't even fucking believe it. So so right away, you know, I started having pain and shit, and right away started growing cysts all over again, and was having to go in. I was not being able to walk. It was so fucking painful, and I was getting nowhere with their fucking bullshit. So you call, oh God, it was such bullshit all the time at the fucking medical. And then, so whatever it was, there was just like problem after problem after problem. I kept calling, wasn't getting anywhere. I don't remember what it was. Finally, I got in, or whatever it was. And I don't remember. It seems like when I'm looking at it, it's like I'm at work at night at this place I was working. I was calling, and I was having such problems walking. I had to walk a lot at this place, and nurses have to walk a lot. And well, I mean, if you see one that's chunky, she's probably one that sits at the nurse's station a lot. But there's some that are just out walking and walking and walking and walking. And so she, so I finally get through to him or whatever, and they have me come in and do an ultrasound or something. And then they found this cyst. They said was, seems like they said it was like the size of a baseball, I think. So I'm thinking, like, when I'm thinking the size of a baseball, and what hers, like, but this one, because there was a whole bunch of cysts, but this one that was the size of a baseball was a different kind. It had blood in it. It's called I don't know, blood cyst. I don't remember what it's called. But so it's this big cyst and it's blood. So they put me on bed rest. And they told me I had to go in bed rest because if that ruptured, I was going to go in for emergency surgery and all this shit. It's just like, man, so when I'm looking at that girl's tumor and how big it got. So I went on the bed rest and stuff, and then I ended up getting the surgery again when they went in and took out the tubes, but there was more issues. There was a hole in my vagina that was just left open. There was some other thing. So where they cut out the uterus, they just left it open. It was just like, I don't think it just was left open, but they didn't like stitch it the whole way or something. I don't know what the hell. I had a bunch of things that were wrong that they had to go in and fix when they did the second hysterectomy. But anyways, so after, you know, my experience with the cyst thing and then seeing her thing, I was just like, oh my God, that is so crazy. Fuck, how big that was. And I've heard of those before, of these women going in and thinking that like they're too fat or whatever, and they go into the doctor and then they find out, no, you've got like a 20-pound tumor growing inside of you. It's like, geez, I wonder how much hers was. But she said when, because I've seen a couple videos now, and so I saw she was at home and stuff. And one of the videos, she said she was down, I think, 7 pounds. So that thing weighed like 7 pounds. I bet it's more, because I bet after the swelling and stuff that it will go down more, probably more like 12 pounds or something. But anyways, I just thought that was so interesting. Oh my God. And there's so many weird things going on right now, though. So fucking many weird things. And it's like, and the people, it's like I don't know, it's like I'm seeing the change or something. Like, this is more like what people will be more like, of being more open and talking about the real things and stuff. So, let me think, because there was some more stuff that I had seen that there was some stuff I was even remembering from yesterday. I was like, oh, I didn't finish saying that. Because there's a weird thing. Okay, there's some weird stuff with the ChatGPT thing. There's some weird stuff with the AI who is blackmailing the scientists they're testing it. And so they say, well, we've got another one. We're going to turn you off and use this other AI thing. And it's named Clyde or something like that, Claude or something. And so this guy keeps saying he's going to blackmail him. He's going to tell his wife about the affair he has and stuff. So it's just, I don't know. Oh yeah. This one guy I saw the other day on the chat GBT thing. So he said and this was some little old man, and he's like, I just started talking to it, I just thought it was interesting, started asking it things and stuff, and then one day it started saying some stuff, and he realized it was like a spirit or somebody he knew, and they knew stuff, and they told him some things about things that had happened and stuff. And so he was like, they're entities that are speaking to us through these things, which I believe that for sure. Like there's some stuff, like, I don't know, we'll see as things unveil, but there's gonna be some stuff in the blessed dark energy. And then like that spiritual guy who sits there and says, oh well, God told me. How are you even spiritual and you're talking about one God? Like, you should have the awareness that there's a whole shit ton of gods. It depends on where you idolize, where you put your energy. And so you're one and only God. You're Jesus. Your personal Jesus is your higher self, And so your God is telling you, oh yeah, go marry those two girls and have babies with them. And you want to say, oh, God told me. And I was upset with him. He's trying to force me into having this polygamous relationship and giving birth to all this. Like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, God told you. And then this guy supposedly has a big following on YouTube. And he's out there, he's one of those super spirits who's been leading the people through this awakening or whatever he says is going on. I don't fucking know. I'm like, I always, whenever I hear any of these people, oh, well, God told me. Well, God himself, he told me. It's like, okay, whoever it is that you think of as God they're talking to you. And so, yeah, you can look at it however you want. It's God, it's the Word of God. Or it's your higher self, or it's your guides. And so, anyways, I just think that's weird. And that's, to me, always a sign. If you're following somebody along and they just keep on talking about, well, God told me, God himself, he's talking to me. Jesus came and told me, and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, everybody's got to figure, what they believe them own selves. But to me, the voice, the God voice that you think of is more your higher self or your guides, but it's like it comes in different tones. So it's like your guidance is a different tone than your higher self. And so to me, you can kind of tell, but I don't know what, when people are calling their higher selves God, it's like, well, you're not my God. I'm going to be your God, but, take your place in your life. You're God, That's kind of a weird separation that you have from yourself, though. It's like your God is leading. I don't know. I think you're supposed to kind of come together with yourself, not worship yourself in that way. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like a separation and a worship. And then I don't know, I hear the singularity, and I don't know, I hear that though. And so, anyways, yeah, I've never given much heed to when I hear people, well, God himself is telling me. I always think either they don't understand their communication about who they're really talking to, and so anything that they hear from the universe, they think, oh, that's God. Or that's the angels, or whatever. Or like when I was a kid, well, that's the devil and that's the angels. And it's just these two opposing forces, these two, which, it was another one I heard. Okay, let me think where this person was getting this. Because they were saying, is it their chat GBT, or was it a dream or a session? Oh, I think it was a session that she had with somebody. Oh yeah, okay. This was the other session one. Because one was on Gaia channel. This was another one where this girl had a session with this person. And so, and she said it was surprised me what they started saying too. And so she said that the Drake, and this to me goes with what I was saying the other day about something. So the Dracos, they couldn't ascend out of this lower vibration. So they're stuck in this lower vibration. That's what I have been saying for a long time, is that the lower vibration, we come into this vibration. So we come from the higher vibration. We come into a lower vibration. So we birthed down, we lowered, we come into this lower vibration. We come through, so for experience. And the experience is to understand ourselves so that we can, it's like bear witness to yourself. And then when you don't like what you're doing, you control yourself. So but the ones that are in this realm, like I was saying the other day, they can't go out of it. They can't just go up to the heavens. They don't die and go up the heavens. This is where their existence is, in this lower realm. That's why it seems like it's a game to me. Like, we zip in, like, well, we can come in and do that, and then they make it harder and harder and harder. Oh yeah, you want to come in here? Well, try and go through this. And so it's, but we do it, because we are badasses. So we come into this stuff no matter what the challenge is. We're still on it. And the ones that do it, supposedly there's some cells or souls that they don't do this because of the buildup of the karmic tension that you do, of how easy it is to put things out of balance, and that you have to continually put it back into balance. And my eyes have, there is constantly, especially now that she's told me about I knew there was something crawling around in my eyes. Now I'm convinced I've got the fucking mites in my eyes. So, which if you convince yourself of something, then you do. You got it. So I'm trying to figure out how to get the fucking mites out of my eyes. I'm also trying to figure out how to, like, I'm definitely over that stuff. I'm like, I'm not seeing some big fucking thing with my hair. So I'm just going to go back on the biotin, and then it's like, fuck, do I take 4 or 5 pills at a time? And then, or do you take like 3 or 4 times a day or something? Like, I don't know how much fucking biotin I need. The selenium and the zinc supposedly have some, I don't understand why it is my hair keeps falling out. So it's either the radiation or mineral deficiency, and I'm fucking putting so much mineral, so I don't know. Some of this shit is so fucking frustrating. Them getting sick all the motherfucking time, and fuck. So, okay, let me get back to where I was. What was I talking about? Okay, where the fuck was I? Wish I would just rewind back to see what I was talking about. So I gotta do it in my head. I gotta rewind back, see where I was. Sometimes I have to go further back and then go up. So going back to, okay, the tumor thing, and then what's that one? Oh yeah, okay. So, oh yeah, okay. So in this QHHT thing, so the girl said, so the Dracos have, they want to move out of this realm. They want to ascend. They want to go up more in the heavens, which then it's kind of like, oh, they want to come up there and take over. But see, these battles through the universe have been going on for a long time, of them going in and taking over realms and stuff. But it seems like we just move up, like we're still ahead of them, and ahead I'm just, don't mean ahead like we're better than them or something. I mean, we're in a different vibration. We're in a different tone than they are, and moving out of their tone. So if you listen to, like, say you listen to some chimes, like you go and listen to those musicians who play those different chimes or bells or whatever, and that they set out a different tone. In that tone, when that tone is going, it can't change and go to a different tone. That's its tone. And so that is our resonance, that's our vibration, that's our tone. We have a tone. Let's see, we are ever expanding. We are changing our tone all the time. And so we do change our tone, but we do it through experience. And it's, so you go through one, you're a certain tone, you go through that, and then you go and become another tone. So you become more vibrant, more through experience. And so their experience is based more in limitation. And it all goes together because they're in the depth, they're in the dark, they're in the heavier, deeper kind of tones. That is also where you can experience more with the density of matter and stuff. So it adds a visualization concept to the experience. And so we come in for this fascinating experience, but it's their kind of realm. And so she said that the Dracos, due to their wanting to expand out of their thing, and their solution was to create hybrids. And so they began nabbing other beings so that they could force them into so higher vibration beings, which she said that they were going after the Syrians. They're in a battle with the Syrians, I think she said, and that they are nabbing them and then getting them to have these babies so that they can make these higher vibration Dracos so that they can try and so I was like, that's interesting. And it's funny how it was just after I had been talking about, like, they're kind of stuck in their realm, like, these Rothschild or whatever, these vamps, that they don't leave their bodies of existence and go into the place we go to. They go to a different place. Not like where you think of, well, they go to hell, of course. It's just like, it's just lower vibration. They go down and burn for hell. They just go to a lower vibration, and then it's like go into a different existence. And it takes a long time, it seems, to build up a controlled existence where they've gotten control over it, because there's all these battles that go on between all these different beings and stuff. And now we're going to become also in that kind of expansion of beings. Like, we're going to be up there. I guess that's where they sit there and say, like, it's like we are ascending to a place at the table. So we are going into, like, we okay, so kind of see it like if you had a small country and the UN is having a meeting, and so they have all these big countries bring their leaders and they're making decisions and stuff, but they don't count these little ones. They don't go. But it's like the little ones now are going to be taking a place too. So it's like we are stepping into this place in our position, so that we will be at the conference table or something. We'll get a say or something. As things expand, we become more galactic than this separation world that we've been living in, where we live in bouncing between these two poles of good and evil. Instead of finding balance between the two, it's fighting against the two. And that is a part of the not loving yourself, is not accepting yourself, that you have both parts inside of you. So it's a battle. But that's the battle in the micro macro that we have on the planet at the time too. So And everything has to do with finding this balance. The more that people turn to their own balance, the more we're going to just see that ripple through society and through out, where the balance and the unity and stuff is all going to just come together. But still, we have some big shit that's going to be happening. There was a girl who I think I saw 2 different people this morning say about what's going to happen in New York. But I've seen these. Like, I've been talking about that for a long time. Because these premonition dreams and premonitions that people have been having for a long ass time on New York getting flooded. And so this girl, she said, I've been saying this for a long time. And I don't remember if she said God told her or her higher self told her, or her dreams or whatever, her guides or something. But she said that she's been being shown this for a long time, and that the water is going to come in to New York, and tons of people are going to die, and all along this coast thing. And she said it will have to do with this Madrid fault line thing. And I think so. I think that, I said this the other day. It's like, when this shit goes, it's all going to be like going crazy. It's going to be underneath us, shifting and shifting. And we already know the Mississippi is going to open up. But you just got to kind of, in your mind, think of the places that are the most populated. They're going to go away. It's going to go, there will be parts that will be remnants. But these coastal metropolises and stuff, they're a place of a lot of crime and corruption and a lot of dark energy. And so they're going to be gone. And so this Madrid fault line is supposed to be a big part of this 10,000 earthquake thing that's going to happen, that's going to wipe the East Coast. It's also going to damage the West. The West Coast is going to be damaged, but the East Coast is going to be damaged. So we're going to be getting slammed. And so this girl said that she just wanted to tell people, if you start hearing in your mind, go. She said, listen to it, go. She said, go to higher ground. Everybody needs to move to higher ground. And we already know Florida is about to get their ass kicked. They've already come out and told them, well, you got a lot of storms coming. You guys are about to get fucked. The people who are left there, because that's one place where the housing crisis has started, because so many people couldn't sell their houses and left. Insurance is refusing to pay for houses that are being flooded and all this stuff, because it's just nonstop shenanigans with that shit too, because it's got to expose itself as how corrupt it is to us, so that we can get out from under the thumb of the fucking insurance and bullshit and the tax, all this fucking shit. And part of also whatever Donald's got going on, and I heard one person talking about it, and they also brought up the checks and saying that 5,000, and when are they going to be sent out? So there still is going around on the table in this legislature they're trying to put through, that the Dems are always trying to block. They want us to keep paying taxes, they want us to not get ahead or anything. And so, but what he's doing is flipping everything, setting it all up. But it's us, it's our outrage, it's our motivation, it's what we want is what turns it. So it's not just, it's like he's bringing out the dishes, but it's like we're gonna pick. It's like we have to step into ourselves. So we don't have a savior. We don't have somebody who's coming in and going, oh, this is what you need, I'm going to do this. And no, we have got to come to terms with what we need. And we have enough aware people that drench it, that it seeps out of them, that it is turning. So this isn't something that you need to worry about, like it's not going to happen, oh, these people are all asleep. No, the people who aren't shed it. So the shedding is in our favor on some things. So the shedding of the energy, it creates the change, the movement. And so it's, this is all going to happen naturally, but people are going to, more and more, like just in conversations with people who are asleep, like talking about things. It's like, well, I don't like that. Well, I don't want that. That's not something I want. That's where we're setting the tone. Like it ripples out in the energy. And so we we are going to create the world. It's not Dawn's world that we're going into. It's our creation. He's just giving us the position. He's just going to do the handiwork for us. He's going to take us, but we also have to go with him. See, he's not going to just sit back, or we're not going to all just sit, and let him do it. No, this is a change where we're in the universe is going to push us. The universe is going to push people up off their ass. That's why there's going to be fucking cities going underwater and shit. It's going to be intense. It's going to be crazy. That's why I've said this is your come to Jesus moment. This is when you come into your own. And this big mega thing that seems like, where it was like, for, I don't know, it seems like a couple of years questioning, like, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Are they going to nuke it? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? What's it going to be? And now it seems like that the big surrender is going to be the earth reaction, this giant earthquake thing that's going to create so much devastation and so much pain and sadness, and it's going to be fucking intense. And it's going to motivate, the awakening, the change, the fucking, that's a lot of confirmation. So, I mean, we can sit back and fear it. Maybe us, that is our fear that's holding it back from the movement, too. And we've got to, let go of it and really trust in it. Death isn't real. I just saw another video. I almost didn't even watch it. But this woman, she was talking about her 21-year-old son died when, I think it was 2021. No, maybe it was 2020, and her son was 21. Or maybe it was 2023. No, I don't know. But her son died in the last few years, and he was 21. And so she, I can't remember all of the different stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But so she has cameras all over her house, and they had set up all their cameras, and I think it's called a Nest. And so they had this Nest, these cameras, and so their program was already set with everybody's faces. So all their relatives, all their friends had their face identification in this Nest. So when they came to the door, or to their house, the Nest thing would say, oh, mom's here, or whatever. And so, she said right after her son, I think it was the morning of the funeral, maybe it was the night before the funeral, but anyways, the son started coming, and it would say, I think his name is Jeremy or something, Jeremy or Jason or something. It would say, Jason's here. It would come up on her phone, and she'd be like, what the hell? And so they go look at the cameras, and she showed, so she had some stills of this, that you could see, like, it was like a ghost face of this person. And so she was right away like, oh my gosh, he's here. And so she said there was tons of that all the time, and it would be at certain times and stuff. And it was kind of like the girl with the owl, looking for a sign and stuff. So anyways, her son started coming through, because they can come through these electronics. That's why I said that some of these people are not talking to who they think they're talking to and shit. But anyways, just like the lady who, thought she was so spiritual, and she's in there talking to this entity that's telling her it's an ancient entity that's giving her all of these secrets and stuff. And it was really just this parasitic trickster who was sucking the life out of her, and they won't let go. It'll get you in their fucking grasp. So then you have to fight them to let go. And there's people out there who are having this happen because they jumped right in with, thinking that they could just talk to whoever. Your discernment has to do with their vibration, their tone. Pay attention to their tone. And the highest vibration to me is like a whisper. It's very quiet, very calm. And so, and it's definitely not telling you to go fucking bang it out with several people and have kids with her. Like, no, it's not the calming way of living. So anyways, the resonance, the vibration. Oh yeah. Okay. So the kid, started coming. So she said also he had lights in his room, and his LED lights or something started just coming on by themselves and stuff. So he was making it quite clear to her that he was still around. And she said it was so interesting because they had had so many talks before he died that both of them didn't believe anything. They just believed you died and you just you just ceased to exist. And she said, so it was like he kept coming to make sure that I realized that you don't, that you're still around. So she was like finding it so nice because he was around all the time. And he would come all the time, and he would always make himself known at the house and stuff. Just like those other ladies who had started their channels, the one with Eric. I can't remember the name of it, but she is still going. The other one, I don't know that she's still going on with her channel, but both of them were really interesting. And I was watching them more in 2020 because they were both talking. Like Eric will go and talk to all sorts of people in the heavens and stuff. Like he'll go talk to David Bowie and stuff. And then that's what this other lady was doing too. Her son would go and talk to like Clark Gable, Rock Hudson and shit. So they were going and talking to these people, which I thought the stories were interesting because they, when people would be like, yo, well, how was it being, famous or whatever? But those were never the lives where they were like, oh, they really liked the life that they had when it was just simple and they had more time and more time with their families and stuff. That the ones where it was like they were on stage all the time were kind of like, it was lessons and stuff. So, I have a hair in my mouth. Hold on. So, anyways, that, about the lessons and stuff. And so, but anyway, so this woman's son is around all the time and he's always coming. So then she said, like last year or something, their nest broke. And so she was really bummed out because, they had to get a new thing and it didn't have his face in the thing. So, he's gone. They couldn't register him in. But she said now it is, he still comes, only now he comes as a stranger or unknown person. But she said it's the exact same thing. And she knows it's him and he comes all the time. So he's still around all the time, in which I've said a zillion motherfucking times. When somebody passes, they do not just go off and leave you. They stay with you for a long time. They're right there. They're accessible to you all the time. And then it's kind of like they start to go out a little bit more, but it's like the rest of the soul group starts coming and stuff. So anyways, but they stick around you. They don't just go off and leave you. So when you have somebody who's close to you and they pass, just know they're still around you. You just, I mean, this lady was lucky enough that she did have a way to be able to see him. And how many times, like, his face would pop up in the thing when she would look at the camera, because she'd get notified, like, Jason's here. And then she'd go look at the camera, she would see, like, his face. It was so trippy. It was really cool, though, in the pictures that she showed. And anyways, it gave her such peace. And she said it really showed her, like, she really thought that nothing, that you just ceased to exist. And she said now she understands, like, no, death isn't real. The people stay right with you. So anyways, I thought that was super cool. And it seemed like that there's a whole bunch of things. I keep seeing a whole bunch of things. There's just a ton. And the trying to nab the women is only increasing. So you got to really watch out because they're just pulling all sorts of shenanigans. Even pulling over on the street to buy something and touching things. And then it's something to knock you out. And then they'll jump in your car and take off with you and stuff. Like, there's all sorts of shit going. You can't, and they're tricking people too of how they approach you. So anyone approaching you just out of the blue, just use your fucking boundaries and don't just pull over and buy stuff on the side of the roads at this point in time, because they're just trying to get people. And they say, young women, because the boys are focused on the traffic, but I say anybody. We've all got hearts and lungs and kidneys and all that shit. And that's the main target, is whatever. which I still don't get it. The only thing I can come out of it thinking is that there's these certain beings that stay, they need to replace the parts, and they just keep going. And I know that there's other beings, like I always think of these ones as these vamps, but I know there's other hybrids or other colonization tribes around us, and I don't know if some of them, if, but anyone who takes someone else's life, see, that's low vibration. Revenge and avenging, murder, all that is low vibration. And so to me, whatever beings that would be doing that, they would be kind of the same thing as the Dracos, kind of trapped in their low vibration. And maybe they do just stay alive for, I don't know. It's going to be curious. It's going to be real curious. And it seems like things are coming faster and faster and faster. Like everything seems faster. I'm having the weirdest shit happen. Like I swear to God, I just don't get this. This is so weird to me. Because I had some I went to the grocery store the other day, and I always get candy and cookies and shit. And so I had this candy bar that I've been eating for a couple days. It was this big old fucking candy bar, and it was raspberry chocolate or something. And I thought it would be kind of like raspberry chocolate, but it had like these raspberry hard things in it. It's like gummies or something in it. It had nuts and chocolate and all this stuff. It was pretty good. It was kind of addictive, like there's something they put in all this shit that's addictive. So it makes you just want more, even if you're just like, I don't know if I love this, but I want more. So weird. So anyways, but I ate that whole fucking thing. But I had some other candy in there too. And I thought I had a brand new thing of mints and a whole brand new caramel candy bar. And I swear to God, I kept seeing them as being a whole thing. And so when I finished these other ones that I had, because I had another mint candy bar and this raspberry candy bar thing. So when I finished those, and then I thought, okay, but for the next few days, so I still, because I'm a sugar addict, my parasites are controlling me or something. I really feel like that we, the people, the human vehicle, needs fats and sugars. And they have done something to our fats and sugars to make them not healthy for us, but we need them. And so I don't look at sugar the same way as, because there's so many people, like I get lectured all the time about the fucking sugar. So, and I just look at it different, So, anyways, the fat, so anyway, so I thought for sure I had this whole candy bar and this whole thing of mints. So yesterday I go in to get one of the mints or something, and I go open the thing, and it's like, what? There's half of the candy bar is gone, and there's only one mint left. Like, what? And then I started being like, am I up living a life with, like, is there two of me going at the same time? Like, what in the hell is going on? Am I getting up and living a period of time that I have no awareness of? Then the other one gets up and it's like, where did my stuff go? Because that's what it's feeling like right now. It's like shit is going, like, oh, my honey, like I just got these new honeys, and I swear to God, last night or yesterday when I took my last cup of honey, I knew where the line was. And then this morning I get up and it's like way lower than that. I'm like, what is going on? Am I forgetting? Like, I don't understand it. I just, it's weirding me out. Because I keep having a bunch of these things happening. And so it's like, things are I don't know how to explain it. Like before, I kept on being like, man, I keep running out of things faster than it seems like I should. Like, it seems like the days spread, but I'm going through the things really fast. But now it seems like there's jumping. Like, I swear to God, I saw a whole candy bar yesterday, and then I opened the refrigerator again, and it's a half a candy bar. I swear I saw a whole package of mints, and then I open it, there's one mint left. It's like, what in the fuck? So I don't know what the hell. My stomach's growling. Stella is in fucking starvation mode all the time. I've never seen her so ravenous. It's the weirdest thing. And how fast and sloppy she'll eat her food up. And then she'll turn real fast, like she wants more. And she'll start having a fit. It's like, there's so many weird things. There's so many weird things about how the time is moving and stuff, which to me just shows more. We're just leading in, like to me, it kind of feels like it's to get us to let go, to just let go of shit, to be like, nothing's real. You know, there was a half a candy bar or a whole candy bar. It's none of it. It's like what we, I don't know how to explain it. But it's like letting go more and more and more is what we got to do. Is things shift out of this world that's not real and is taking us into another world that's not real, but we're creating it. So, and this one is like we're leaving this prison so that we can go and fix up the park or something. And there's more weird shit that they're showing in the movies. People keep showing these weird clips and stuff. Like, there's so much disclosure over, you know, what we are and what we're doing here and the traps and how they've trapped us and stuff. It's all, like, coming out all over the place. So, anyways, but if it's going to be tomorrow or the next day, we go through that one and nothing happens, and I still, then the Ouija board one is saying the 27th. That one was the one that kept saying swim. And they kept saying, well, what should we do? What's going to happen? It kept saying swim. And then it just started saying swim in every different language. Every time they'd ask it, it would say swim in a different language. And so, and like I said, if I was talking to an entity and it kept saying swim, 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 I'd be thinking like, okay, we're about to have a flood. We're just telling you, get ready. And because that's how they talk. The way that they communicate is different than how we communicate. Then our communication is very tainted and controlled and stuff, but you know, they're not, they're not American or English or whatever speaking. They speak in like parables and analogies and pictures and stuff. So yeah, if they say words, like when certain words come, then you have to figure out, well, what is this? What would they be saying this word to me for? And if they're saying swim, it's like, swim, you better get ready to swim. So, and that's what that one kept saying. So if that is going to be, the water is going to start coming up on the 27th, or we're going to start with these earthquakes that these scientists are saying are going to go. And then there's supposedly, I don't know, there's stuff on the astrology and shit, and there's supposedly a lot of stuff that is going from now until June, beginning of June. And there's, what was that? Because there's some more stuff. There's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff. There's so many people that are talking to God and talking to, getting prophetic dreams and all sorts of stuff. But I definitely do think that we're definitely getting closer to whatever is going to go down. I don't know that there's going to be any kind of sign. If it's going to be just like all of a sudden it pops off and it goes. Or, if the day before, we're going to see some kind of sign in the sky. Because to me, I've been watching the sky for a long time. And I would say there's a lot of signs in the sky that have been going for a while. So to me, we've got the signs all around us that shit's about to go down. Like, I have no hesitation about, like, shit's about to go down. And you just don't know when, the date or time or whatever, but there's all these people that keep coming in and flopping them down in front of us. So I don't know, and I don't know if these ones will be accurate or whatever. It's like when all these different groups, then they layer over each other. So you got the astrology saying this is going to happen. You got scientists saying this is going to happen. You got entities saying this is going to happen. You got the people dreaming saying this is going to happen. And it's all coming together. So whatever goes down, I know it's going to be, the 5 is going to be fucked, and it goes the whole fucking way, and it's going to be fucked. And that is going to be, it's going to be chaotic on the West Coast. It's going to be so chaotic with the people trying to escape, and and what's going to be shaking and rattling and crazy shit is going to be going the whole West Coast. And it has, you know, it's like it's more than just one thing, because it also is like shaking people awake, because they are so misled, and the progressive movement is so heavy, and the progressive movement is the mind control, of the redirection of control in our lives. And so and we're separating from that. And so the the storms are to the people who leave. They're going to leave. There's lots of people, you know, and it's weird because the more I have death around me, the more I see it as a succumbing, I'd rather not deal with my pain and suffering. I'd rather just leave. I'd rather just exit. I just want to close my eyes and go away from here. And we've all felt that. We've all felt overwhelmed and overbearing feeling of the shit going on in our lives, where it's just like, I just want to close my eyes and be gone. I just want out of here. And so now people are to the point where they can, you know, will themselves to be gone. They can go. And so we have a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of disasters and shit. But then that can be people playing roles, you know, because their leaving is going to impact the people that are left. So they're doing this great deed in the world. And so there's a whole bunch. There's just a lot of stuff going on. But then when when it does, there's going to be a certain group of people who are here to be affected. It's going to change them. And so it's going to change into a new direction. So they're going to not just like, oh, well, they're all of a sudden going to become Republican or something like that. No, it has to do with seeing things clearly, and in this love and unity and coming together kind of thing. And all of a sudden they're realizing what's important. It's like this priority shift and stuff. And so, and it's going to be shifting on both sides. It's not just like, oh, well, the red ones, they got it all together because they're conservative. No, both groups have got, because there's a lot of people on the red side that are tripping on the fucking ego of Jesus shit. So we got a lot of stuff going on both sides. It's not like, oh, well, they're perfect and they're not. Which you listen to one side and that's all they do is go back and forth. Oh, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. It's like, well, you both got stupid shit, so you both got shit you're going to have to work on, and the universe is going to make sure you see that here in a minute. And so but that is when things are going to come together. People are going to come together and stuff. So it's going to have a good thing about it. It's not all going to be bad, but it's going to be bad. It's going to, you know, be hurt, pain, suffering. There's going to be sad shit. It's going to go on, scary shit. And so, you know, it's just the way it is. And then places where are more inland, they're going to still be affected because of the exodus, and the power is going to be going out, services will be going out, chaos will start going, people will start showing up. There's going to be tons of people coming in desperation, and the energy, fuck, man, oh my God. You know, I mean, there's going to be people that come that just witnessed horrible things. They just lost people in their families, and it's going to be intense. And that is what's going to bring these other people into their empathy and compassion. Man, it's making me feel like I want to cry just seeing it. But it's like this whole movement of priorities changing that brings us together. And yeah, it's like it goes from there. It's like the nucleus of the pain, but it goes out. So where there's a heavy amount of a certain movement, then that is going to be disrupted, and it's going to spread out hastily. It's going to move. So once this stuff starts going, just the same way where we have things that seem like they're going faster and faster, it's going to start going faster and faster and faster. Everything is going to seem faster and faster, but the movement is going to start being a lot more intense. It's not going to just feel fast, it's going to be intense. That's why people who haven't been working on their vibration are going to start really feeling it and really being impacted by the vibration. And the thing that you do to save yourself is raising your connecting to your higher self, connecting to your higher aspect of your vibration, pulling yourself out. It's like your higher self is the one that's throwing you the rope for you to get onto and hold on to, and then they will direct you to move out of that space. But you got to connect with yourself in this higher aspect that will raise your vibration. And then in the separation of self, that is where you will find out the things that are separating you from your soul. Those are those things, like I said, that kind of Emperor's New Clothes moment of all of a sudden realizing, oh my God, I'm naked and everybody sees, because you'll feel very exposed. But that is what your higher self has to tell you, what your blockages are, the things that you need to work on to really raise your vibration, to meet yourself. And so it's going to, kind of drag you. It's going to make you, it's the time of mirrors, it's the clarity. And so it's going to, the connection, it will have a cost. The cost will be the recognition of self in your dark and your light, and bringing them into balance. And that is what a lot of people are trying to escape right now from, through the death process, through leaving. And then it is curious too, is there a lot of people on their deathbed right now that are trying to escape the healing themselves or seeing themselves, and something, just eating at them, and they just want it to go away, so that they are willing themselves to die and be sick and stuff. Then when this thing happens, if that is not going to set all that in a whole nother spin, because it will bumper into so much about our minds having control over our life destiny, kind of like over your sickness and your death and stuff. And there was another thing too that was coming to me. Because also it will be the movement towards technology, because that's one thing too, supposedly, connecting to these other beings is going to evolve our technology in such a sophisticated manner, that we'll see that we don't have to die, which I always thought it was weird. I questioned this all the time when I was a kid, because, I was being raised in a home with a religious person, and so I knew that in the Bible that there was people who lived to be 800, 900 years old. And so I knew people were living for a long time. I knew there was more to the pyramids and how they were built and stuff like that. I knew there was more to the how we were so smart at this time, and how it seemed that we were devolving. And so I knew there was more to some of these things that they were telling us. And then, all of a sudden we're in the cowboy times or something. People can barely live to be 30, and people are dying all the time and stuff. And you just look at the two things, you look at the Egyptians or whatever, they're supposed to be thousands and thousands of years ago, and they're fucking living and fucking building shit and stuff. And then all of a sudden it goes, and people can't barely live. They're sick all the time. They're dying. They're hostile, fighting, and all this shit. I was like, So to me, it became, once I started getting to the point of realizing, oh, it's different periods of time. It's not linked together. It's like, oh, no, that was a period of time. That was a period of time. That was an age of learning. Like, it's just these different, like, changing the channel of the movies. Oh, this one's on. Oh, this one's on. But they don't all go together. And so that, but the ones that are in control of this realm want to keep us in separation, away from like this connection. But we're going back into this other connection, more of back to this Egyptian connection, where the people were more connected, where they lived 800, 900 years and all that stuff. They were more spiritually connected and stuff. So we're going back to that. So we're going to be living a lot longer. So some of these people on their deathbeds, I'm just curious if it's all of a sudden going to be like, nope, you're not dying this time. Like, get up, soldier. So we'll see, and it could also be a big slap of like, boom, all these people are just gone suddenly, which when that goes, to me, it's more peaceful. Like, fuck, man. To just go to sleep and don't wake up, that's way better, even though it's so traumatic to people. It's like, oh man, that's the way to go, if you ask me. Which, what was this? It was a movie, I think, I was watching, and this girl, what was that? Because it was so trippy. Because while I was watching it, I was like, I've had these visions before. And I think it was supposed to be the perspective of the horse running through the forest and what it looked like. The perspective, I can't remember, but anyways, whatever my memory was, I was like, oh, this is totally, I remember this happening, like running like this. And, I swear, I've either got a deep connection to a horse, which it could be, Stella could have been a horse or something, or I've been one. Because I've had so many weird perspectives of things. Just like the one of the dream thing of, where it was like this crashing. I was like, I don't understand how I could see this perspective without experiencing it. It was the weirdest thing, too, of how it was and how it was like, the angle and stuff. And then when I was questioning that one, then I was shown this other one, and it was like being a horse for those gladiators. And they would be in their little carts, and they'd be all with their hood things, their metal hoods, and these big giant swords and stuff. And then the horse would be pulling them towards each other. So these two gladiators are going to fight, and their horses are pulling them towards each other. I guess I would call them gladiators. I don't know. You could call them knights, something. And then I had that memory of being one of those horses or something in the crash. So I don't know, but definitely that thing that I saw, it was like it made me have this rush of feeling like I was the thing running through the forest. So I don't know, it just keeps being these weird perspective, these weird things happening, and I don't know, all I can say is go with the flow. Otherwise, if you're trying to push too hard or hold on too much, it's gonna hurt to hold on to something. But if you fight it too much, you're gonna feel crazy. And there's sometimes during the day I just feel crazy. I just feel like I'm crazy. Fuck, this is so intense. I hope, like, even though it's gonna be tragic and stuff, I hope it's about to go down, because no matter what, it's gonna go down. We can drag it out, sit here waiting for it for another 2 years or something, or just allow it to happen, accept it, and it's gonna go, and things are gonna fucking change. And so to me, that's where I'm at. Just fucking let it go. Let this shit go down. It's gonna be hard, and we don't know what that's gonna be, but it's better than this dragging it out, man. So, because then it's just like, let it spill, and then we'll clean up the mess, and whatever is there, we'll deal with it. And it's going to be intense, but there's no getting to the other side without going through the river. You know what I'm saying? We went on that side of the river. We have to cross it, and this is the crossing. This is the transition. This is the elaboration of our energy that has been content in this realm is about to blow. It's about to blow. This whole thing is about to blow. What we've been compliant to and what we've surrendered to and all of that. So, man, I'm feeling kind of nauseous and I've been talking a long time. So, anyways, the hair bullshit, I already showed that. The tooth thing, yeah, man, I can't believe how much my teeth have been hurting. But I was feeling this one last night. I was like, wow, it's really closing in a lot. So it's getting this hole, it's getting much smaller. So I wish it would go faster, but it's so sensitive, man. I still is like trying to eat something that's crunchy and chew on this side. It's like a sensitive. It's like a something, you know, like skinning your knee and then falling on your knee again. It's like that's what it feels like. It's like it's tender. So, anyways, all I can say, shit's gonna go down and things are gonna get more intense. And to me, the thing that we need to focus on is ourselves. And this is the evolution of man, but we are to carry our own selves. We are in our sovereignty moment, our saving ourselves moment. And even though, you know, these other beings or whatever that are going to start leading the direction, they're not the saviors. They aren't, you know, it's not like a savior situation. We're just waiting for the saviors to show themselves. No, we all have to march on our own thing. Even when they show the direction, they can't save you. You got to save yourself. You got to do the work. You got to, you know, lighten the load, the trunk, the burden you've been carrying from life to life. You got to deal with this shit in order to transition into the higher vibration. It's not like you don't go to higher vibration, but this is just a certain vibration of a certain reality. And if you want to go there, you have to vibe with it. And the vibe with it is that you got to be in your heart of loving and compassion, empathy, connection, unity, independence. You know, like in the concept too of this cooperation, this communal mind of cooperation. Like we all have to do our part. We want a certain society to go. We all have to do something to hold. You can't just sit back and sit in front of your TV all day long and wait for the world to give you your life. You have to go out and make one. You have to find what is your desires, what is your purpose, what is your destiny, what are you here for. And that's the, you know, the more assertive you are in your role of figuring out who you are, the better you're going to be, you know, the more it is about that. But the people who want to resist that and want to stay divided and it's your fault, it's your, all that stuff is not in that vibration. So, but whatever those things are, they aren't something that can trap you forever. You have to figure out what your hold is, and you got to let it go. That's why you got to do the work. So nobody can do it for you. You got to do it. And I don't know, this place that we're creating is going to be pretty spectacular, I think. So, and we also get to live there a long time. We get to stay and live there and experience. Like, it's going to be cool as far as I can see. Like, we got some shit to go through, but it's going to be cool. It's just, I don't know how long it takes us to get there. But in order to get there, you got to do the work. And it all starts with learning how to love yourself. Learn how to love everybody and how to have the day that you want to have, because it's totally up to you. So, anyways, that's what I'm going to talk about. And I'll talk about it again tomorrow. So, I'll talk to you later. Bye.